Devins, and welcome to Discover Easton. I am here with Janet Lind. Hello, Janet.
Hi, how are you?
And we are at Hammer and Stain, South Shore. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait to show you what goes on here. It's just amazing. So, Janet, before we start, you want to give me a little history as to why you decided to do this kind of thing, or what's your background?
I've been crafting since I was, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 with my grandmother and my mom. Everything crafting since I was a little girl. And my grandmother really inspired me. My mom inspired me, but my grandmother was a crafter. And so I kind of always did it as a side thing. And then about in 2000, probably 15, when my son was born, I said I wanted to do more with it. And I started a business out of my house, literally in my closet.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. And I would just make wreaths and custom decor and things for people. It was kind of before drinkware and clothing and all of the side things now are more popular. It was kind of, they didn't really have a lot. So I did a lot of custom designing for people. And then when my son got a little older, I said I wanted to do more with this. And I felt like I always lacked, like going out, you spend $100 for dinner, you come home with nothing, right? You have fun, but like you didn't come home with anything. It wasn't memorable, maybe. You might not remember where you were. So my biggest thing was like trying to create a space where you could come in, you could bring your wine, bring food, bring your family, or come on a date night or friends, and just create memories together, making something, and just get your creative side flowing, which is really important to stimulate your brain. And I love it when I'm bored. I come up here and just hide in the studio.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I do. So I opened in 2018 in Easton, so 5 years ago, and we were next door at a smaller space, just had 4 tables. And then when the music studio here closed, they moved over to, and Mockingbird moved over to the big Y Plaza. So I moved over here, and we constructed the whole space and banged out all of the walls and things like that.
Oh, so you actually removed some walls.
Yeah, we opened up the whole entire space. And then this other room back here, my biggest thing was like when there's a busy time of year, like in December, or, I have a holiday gathering, if I'm booked on that date, I couldn't offer the space. So we wanted to create a space that had 2 separate rooms. So this space behind us, behind this wall, can hold about 12 to 15 people privately.
Oh, that's a good amount.
And then you can hold here. We can open up the doors and have up to about 40 people in the studio
40
as well.
people?
For
Wow.
fundraisers, corporate team building. We do corporate parties, things like that.
Oh, corporate parties too.
Yeah, tons of stuff. So what's really nice about that room is we can close the barn doors.
Okay.
And we can have a separate party in there. And then we can have a separate party out here on the same day. And usually by the end, everyone's having fun together and they open the doors and it's like one big party.
Separated.
So, so it's just a really fun space to create and gather with friends and leave here with those memories, and creating skills, for people. A lot of people come in and they're like, I'm not crafty. I can't do this. It's important to me to be very hands-on, because there's a lot of people that have been with me before we even started. I started at bars and restaurants, and we still have those same people that are still with me now that come in.
Really? From the people that went to the bars and restaurants?
Yeah. So we have a lot of regulars that have done probably like 70 plus projects.
Oh, wow.
And then we have brand new people that have just heard about the studio. So on Facebook, I think we have over 16,000 people on Facebook.
Noticed that.
Yeah, which is all me. We have
Really?
to hire nobody for marketing or nothing.
Really?
It's just all
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, word of mouth and getting out there and talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot too. And so with the space here, we do kids' summer camps, kids' birthdays.
Oh, wait, you do a summer camp here?
We do. So we have two teachers from West Bridgewater this year teaching this summer camp for kids.
Is that right here?
Right here. Yeah, so we do 4 weeks this year. We did 6 weeks last year, and every week's themed. We have, I think, 6 spots left out of 100. We're almost completely sold out for summer camp already.
Wait a minute, for next summer?
For this summer coming up.
Here?
Yeah. So people were like waiting to do stuff back in I think in December. They were emailing me like, did you post camp yet? Did you post camp yet? Yeah. So, but we do kids' birthdays, and then we do a public workshop. So one of my biggest things starting as a small business, out of my closet is to support other small business.
Yes.
Because that is so important. And having a space where other small businesses come in and do things. So we collaborate, and because, you know, you could have wood projects, but everybody doesn't need a wood project. Again, it's about gathering and getting together, right?
Goodness,
so what I love is we do everything from candle making to sea glass, succulents, and knitting, charcuterie nights, cookie decorating every month, medium nights. We do all of different classes. So they're all local small businesses that come in.
Not just wood.
No, correct.
Really?
Yes. So we do tons of things. And that's what's most important is just, and they're all small businesses, locally owned. And they just come in and and have the space. We either do a hammer and stain project with it, or we'll just, like, if it's charcuterie, we make our own charcuterie boards, and then they kind of learn how to do the charcuterie on our boards, you know.
Okay.
But or we, you know, we just love supporting other small business and creating different classes, which is really important, you know, because you can get bored. But tonight's open paint, as you can see, we're actually very packed from open paint in both rooms.
Oh, fun. We get to see it in action.
Yeah, we do open paints every Tuesday night from 6 to 9.
Every Tuesday night.
And you don't need reservations.
You don't need a reservation.
So
you just come in.
Just walk in. Yeah, walk in.
Wow,
and then
that's
every third Saturday of the month from 10 to 2, we also do it. So it's consistent and everyone knows the schedule.
Okay.
Kind of behind me is just a preview of open paint. So you can just walk in and pick from anything that we have to make.
Okay.
There's stencils behind stencils. There's everything from, you know, $10 projects up to 80. But also if you knew you wanted a certain, maybe our big clock, for instance, and then you wanted it personalized, and you didn't see a clock workshop, right? You just message me about a week out. I can build it, design it, and have it ready for you to make at an open paint. So we can customize things as well. So
So you're saying that I can actually contact you and say, this is what I really want to do.
Yes, correct.
And you'll get it together.
Correct.
If possible, you'll get it together. And then when it's open paint night, I just come in.
Yep, that's it. Yep. We also do, if you have, like, maybe you saw, people always send me pictures of inspiration, right? Like, oh, I saw this on Etsy, or I saw this on Pinterest. Can you make it? And yes, you know, we always can custom design and come as close as possible. We build everything from scratch. I go to Fernandez Lumber. We pick out all of our they're the best over there. So I go out and I actually hand pick boards, all my boards.
Do you really?
All my wood. We cut. I had the workshop in the garage, and we also partner up with the Amish out in Pennsylvania, and we get a lot of custom things done from them as well, because their quality is amazing. So it's a combination of projects. But Fernandez, they're great over there, and so we can always, like, if you're like, Janet, I need this board to be 3 feet by, 22 inches, whatever it is. I can completely cut it whatever size, because people are like, I have a spot and I don't know what else to, I need this piece of wood, but it has to be only this size,
Okay.
So it's just, there's a big variety of things that we do, just not classes. So
right. So they're not just wall hangings too. I mean,
right.
There's other
Exactly.
things you're doing.
Yep. And again, just it's getting together, leaving and saying, hey, I want to come back, or, oh, I had so much fun. We host baby showers. We host bridal showers, bachelorette parties.
Really? Showers. So an actual baby shower?
We just had one recently. So we
how
had
do you
about
do that?
30.
You set up in the room and then you...
Yeah, they had the whole... So when you have a private party, the space is yours. So for 3 hours.
Really?
So there's
3
no one...
hours. That's nice.
So there's no one else coming in. You're not interrupted. The same with the kids' parties. Kids' parties are also private for 2 hours. So you're not like at like a place where you have tons of other parties going on. I hate that.
I know.
And you don't need favors because they're making something and you're going home. That's their favor, And we include pizza with the kids' parties. So you pretty much just have to bring in some cake or cupcakes. But the baby shower was great. We had 35 people. The hostess, I think the mother-in-law, bought all of the projects. The people just registered through a link. So when they came in, their project was ready. And they decked out the whole entire place in gifts and food, full catered food from Johnny Macaroni's. They brought a whole sangria bar in. And again, it was cheaper for them to have it here with no minimum, right? As far as like food and beverage.
Definitely.
And then they had their own space, brought their own food and drinks in. And so it's that's been becoming more and more popular, having things like that here too. So with it, everything from buses, full coolers to martini bars to, to nothing, right? So, I mean, there's a big variety of things that happen here.
Okay, so you just bring whatever food
you bring
and
food and
drinks,
whatever you want. So, so it's great. Yeah.
Well, and it sounds to me like you're able to encourage people too, as far as, I want to have my shower here, but I don't know how I'm going to set it up, or I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
You give them ideas. And,
Yeah, I always give them ideas or suggestions based on the group size and, projects, especially if there are a lot of new people that haven't been in. I don't want them to get overwhelmed and stressed out with making a project. So we'll come up with something, an easier stencil or an easier project that's easy to stain and paint and go through all the steps together. And that's the thing too that's important, is that doing the steps together. So, we're very hands-on. So you're not just walking in and we're saying, here you go. We're walking you. Yeah. Like, good luck with that. So you're here to pick your stain colors. We walk you through staining the right way, drying it, making sure it's dry, which is very important because if you put a stencil on, and it's not dry yet, it's not going to stick, right? There's a lot of, criteria there. And then as far as sanding, getting the board smooth, applying stencil, but very customized as far as picking out your stain, what's going to look good, your paint colors to your house or your walls.
Now, I noticed you have a lot of stain colors and a lot of paint colors.
Yep.
So that's good. Because it's not your typical, you got red, green, yellow, orange. And
we used to have more, and I've actually cut it down. So
too many.
Now you're like, there's too many. And the same with the paint colors. We cut that down too.
But that's good because I can never decide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so we're very, we walk you through, we're hands-on helping you. We always say, hey, it is a DIY studio. It's do it yourself.
Yep.
But we want to, encourage confidence and skills, and if it's not wood, like our blankets, for instance, we help you make
blankets?
big chunky knit blankets on the tables. We make those, the hand knit
You
ones.
do?
We do. So
really?
they're awesome, but I like to
show
the skills, because we've had so many people that bring in their friend or a teenager or something, and then they go buy their yarn and they go home and they send me pictures of all the blankets that they made for relatives and friends, which is important
because they learn,
because a lot of people are hands-on, right? They don't want to just watch a video.
Right.
And we do resin paint pouring workshops.
Okay,
so we do our resin.
About the resin paint pouring.
Yeah.
Is that a new concept, or has that always
It's become
been
more and
around?
more popular.
Yeah, because I've seen. I love the. It looks like an ocean with the.
Yes,
the beach
that's what we
and the
do.
Ocean.
Yeah. So we do our waves, we do trays, we do cutting boards, and then we have a sold out workshop in April of doing. Oh, there's a resin tray up there actually. That's a cute little tray.
I love
Yes,
that.
I can bring that over.
Yeah,
So this is kind of our one of our resin boards.
Look at that. Yeah.
So this was a sample that I actually made during one of the. So again, during the resin workshop, I show you how to do it.
Okay.
Very hands on. You don't need any skills.
Really?
And I show a sample first so people can see me doing it.
It's really
it's fully
piece.
epoxy. Yeah. And so we have all different powder colors to choose from, so you don't have to do the beach scene.
Okay.
And then we show you how to put the waves on and blowing it and getting the bubbles out with the heat guns. And it's pretty involved, but it's easy. Anybody can do it. So we do those nights, and we're adding the April class. We're doing shapes for the summer, so like turtles and whales and surfboards and stuff. So people want to put them at their beach houses or lake houses and stuff. Yeah. So that's something new. But again,
that's sold out though, right?
Yeah, we do sell out quickly. People, are very supportive. And so they love to bring, if they've been here once, then they want to come back. They want to bring their friends and their family. And I always say, as soon as you see a workshop, snag it, because once we're sold out, we're sold out. I can't add more, So, and I also don't like to overfill classes.
Because then it gets too crazy. And you don't get that hands-on.
And we're doing, in April, we're doing our first drag night, crafting with the Queen's drag night. It's a very, Barrett's has been doing it for a while, shows. And I said, heck, why don't we have it and have fun and have something different? It's sold out of 35 people. We're sold out very quickly. And people are just excited. Again, it's something different.
Something different to do.
Maybe it's not your thing, fine. You don't have to come to that class, right? But at least there's options, right? So maybe your thing's resin. Or maybe,
options.
But that's the thing, though. There's options. There's tons of classes for every age, every level. And so that's what's important, right? So
look at all these things.
So we have retail also. So these are just handmade bunnies. We have all these projects are all for sale.
Sell things here too.
And we're going to try to build up retail. Usually we build it up and we have more stuff, and then it sells pretty quickly because when people are in, they'll see things and they're like, oh, I want to grab some of that. So anything you see pretty much in the studio is for sale. And we also have the The bottom shelf over there has like handmade jewelry and earrings from a
can I
local
take a peek at
person.
that?
Yeah, and those are local candles as well.
Oh yeah. Look at
So
look at the dog.
yeah, so
stand.
that's a dog
Isn't that
bowl. But these
awesome?
are
Look at the
these are just
trays.
local stuff, and these are from
Oh.
Clover Dilly down in Kingston. She owns a store at the Kingston Collection.
Oh,
So
okay.
she is fantastic. Her candles smell amazing.
Ooh,
And then we have
wow.
some local CBD products as well. So there's
Wow.
we usually have more signs, but they sell pretty quickly. We're going to
Yeah.
be adding more and more retail to actually sell in the studio too. So
Oh, okay.
when you're in, if you're like, oh, I need to pick up a gift or I need to grab a candle, in holiday time, we do a lot of gift wrapping and things like that too.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
a variety. Yeah, a large
Yeah.
variety of things.
You know, when we had a chamber thing here,
We
and
did.
I got the ceramic Christmas tree.
Yes.
Because it just brought nostalgia back.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
I went home, I painted it, and
So much
I
fun.
had so much fun
Yeah.
doing that.
Yes, and that's that
So
we
much
do
fun.
kits to go home. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, like to stay in here, but maybe you don't. Maybe you want to take it home. So all of our kits come with. If you were saying you came in and grabbed a tree or you grabbed a project, we have instructions with a QR code. That's a video of me doing the project with you.
Oh, really?
All your supplies, you pick out your stain and paint colors, and then you can do it at home. So people will
Nice.
come in, they'll grab stuff for birthdays or girls' night in. A lot of
Oh,
times in the
that's
summer,
great.
out the kids will go do a birthday party out in the garage, and they'll set up
Yeah.
tables. So they'll come in and order things like that too. So
Wow.
again, lots of ideas.
So many avenues to this whole thing.
Yes,
It's
and that's I was
amazing.
saying earlier during COVID, we were closed for 7 months, so
7 months.
it was difficult. But
Wow.
we had to stay alive, and I
Yes.
didn't give up. And
Good
we
for you.
basically threw stickers on our car that had Hammer and Stain delivery on them,
Did you
and we
really?
took orders for kits. And that's kind of how kits really got started.
Okay.
Was because of COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone was home, bored,
Yeah, right,
and
right.
so now they had something to do at home together as a family, or they did a lot of Zoom birthdays and things. So they'd grab kits and then deliver it to each person's house, and they'd go on Zoom.
Oh,
So we
isn't
tried
that-
to, so it was really great. In that sense that
You brought sunshine to kind
Yeah.
of a cloudy time.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we
You
had to
brought
pivot. We
fun
had to
and-
pivot though.
Yeah.
So I work full time in Boston 5 days a week, and for the last almost 20 years. So, if it wasn't for my full time job during COVID, I would have probably had to close the studio because delivering kits can only go so far.
Right,
Because at that
exactly.
point, then you're fighting with the suppliers
Yeah.
of like
Oh,
everything's
yeah.
more expensive, and
Of
that's the
course,
thing too.
yeah.
Like everything's gone up, right? I mean,
Wood
is
especially, right?
crazy, and people
Yeah.
really, I think people are finally understanding that. But it's
Yeah.
it's hard to, and I don't like to really go up too much on prices, but
But
it
you
is what it
have to
is too,
sometimes.
right?
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, restaurants do it, right? I mean,
Yes,
so no one
exactly.
complains if their
No.
burger's $5
Right, I
more.
know,
so-
I know. Don't complain about wood.
Right, exactly.
Now, is
So-
there a kind of wood that you typically use for these things?
Yeah, there's a variety. I would say most of it's pine. And I try to not get stuff that's too knotty, but with that
Okay.
being said, a knot is a branch in a tree, which I try to explain to people, right? You've never seen a tree with no branches.
Interesting.
Right?
I never thought of
Yeah.
that.
So I
It's a
try to, I
branch.
personally
Okay.
like the more knots and things like that. I like
Yeah.
it because it adds character to the
Yeah,
wood.
yeah, definitely.
But some people, I try to explain that to people. Like, listen, that's what it is. It's a branch. It's a
Yeah.
branch cut off. That's
And
where
you'll
the
never
knots
find
from.
one just like
No.
it.
So
'cause
we
it's-
try to it's a variety of that. And then like our frame signs, for instance, like we have 4 different sizes of our frame signs, and those are birch plywood backing, but they flip
Okay.
in and out, so they're interchangeable.
Oh,
So
really?
the frame pops out, and then you can do that stencil on one side, but then you could flip it in and do another stencil on the other side. So it's
No.
2 signs in one.
No, that's great
Yeah.
for like the holiday
Yes.
season and
So like
everything, or when
for I have a holiday sign, and then it just says
Yeah.
humble and kind on the other side. So as soon as Christmas is
Oh.
over, I just flip it. So
Go with that
that's
season.
so you can do the same thing like our porch planks, for instance. Like you could do one side Easter and the other side spring, and just flip
Oh.
them, right?
Oh,
So
I
I
didn't
try
think of
to
that.
tell people there's a lot of things you can do with different projects. So
Yeah, this is great. Now, what's this over here? Is this something that someone can pick up and paint at home?
yeah,
Or these
the
things?
ceramics. Yeah, so
Okay,
these
the
are super
ceramics.
cute. We have,
like those.
a variety of little Highland cows that have been super popular. Little,
yeah.
bunny Easter things, succulent type little cheeseburger bank. There's a lot of everything from like $8. I try to keep things very, variety of
very
prices.
reasonable.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable too.
And then, we have some of our chunky bunnies and things and like little paint by line shapes for like little ones, because sometimes they bring, really small 2-year-olds. And I always say
really?
like 2 to 90, right? I mean, there's really anybody can do it, right? So that's why it's like, if you want to give a 2-year-old a shape, it doesn't matter. They're not staying in the lines, right? So they're just they're busy paint. They love it. They're messy. They're picking colors and
it's their artistic taste too. Encourage it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So. And I was mentioning to you earlier that Hammer and Stain is not a franchise, which is super important to me. We're a small business. We're all independently licensed. So we just have the name.
Okay.
I was the first one in Massachusetts 5 years ago. And now we have, I think, 4 studios in Mass. So we have Neshoba Valley out in Acton. We have Beverly, and we have Sandwich.
In Sandwich.
Yeah. So we have a variety of studios. We're all women owned, and we have over 100 now across the whole entire country.
Is that right?
But it's great because we're not a franchise. Like, no one tells me what to do, what to build, what designs to make.
Use their product, only their stuff.
Correct. Yeah. And that's what I didn't want. I didn't want to be, only do certain things. So every studio you visit, everything's from like 600 square feet to 4,000 square feet and in between. And we just collaborate on ideas. And so I'm hosting the June retreat here. We retreat every year over 3 or 4 days, and we brainstorm different ideas, new techniques, things that I can bring into the studio. And that's where resin pouring came last year. We tried it for the first time hands-on at a retreat, and I loved it. And then I brought it in here. So there's, it's fun, new ideas. And there's so many people that can have different ideas. So it's really awesome just to say, hey, what are you guys doing for this,
what
Mother's Day?
you?
What works, And we share files and we share build specs on, so it's great, even though I design myself, it's nice sometimes, that we can just share designs and things too. So
and if something went wrong for someone else, you can kind of help them and say, well, I went through that too. And this is how we came out of that. And
there's always things that even 5 years in, I'm one of more of the veteran owners of Hammer and Stain. But I'd probably say it was probably the first 30-ish studios went 5 years ago. So it's really great to see it grow. And the spaces is just, I love popping to different studios and see, because I walk in and I get all these fresh ideas, I'm like, I want to go back to the studio and do that, so, but it's fun. And then in June, we're hosting the retreat here, and I can't wait to have about 40 studios. And so it'll be good.
Oh my goodness. And the nice thing about that is, there's not this competition thing going on where, I'm not going to tell you what worked for me because I don't want you to succeed.
We're all in it together.
All together, which is nice. And it's not a franchise, which is good too.
Yes, so that's important to me. It was important to me when I was looking to open a studio, and one of the resources behind it, it was really important that I kept small business and bringing again the small business in and doing my own thing and things like that too. So
and there's nothing like Easton for small business. I feel like Easton is very unique as far as supporting each other. Even during COVID, the restaurants were supporting each other and helping each other out. There was none of this, competition thing going on. It was just let's all get together and get through this. And it really was a good thing. It's actually a silver lining on a cloud.
I agree.
You could see where all community really came forth. So Easton's a great place to have
I couldn't be more blessed to be in Easton. The support. I think, opening a small business for the first time, I was like, I'm crafting in my closet and bars and restaurants, and now I'm going to like a space is like a second mortgage. I can't do this, freaking out. And then they welcomed me, every business here, and I belong to the chamber, I belonged to several chambers when I opened, and I no longer belong to those other chambers. I only belong to Easton. So but it's, I'll tell you, I'm the Eastern Chamber, the events that they do for a small town and how they come together and help others is unbelievable. I walk, I love being me. which is so important. And like people see me at Target or listen, I go, my gym is in Easton, Healthy Hustle. I go to, I go to the pizza shop. I go to I go to the I live at the Beanery. So like, I'm in Easton more. I live in West Bridgewater, but I'm in Easton more than West Bridgewater. But everyone knows my name. Everyone knows my son's name. Everyone, it's just great. And if they don't know me, like, oh, I know you from Facebook. I know you. And I'm like, I own Hammer and Stain. They're like, yes, that's it. So, it just being a small town and, going to like I go to Pixie Dust to buy gifts or whatever, it's just, and everyone comes in each other's businesses and support
each other. Absolutely.
So, it's really
it's
nice.
It's like it's community, but it's almost like a family. We take care of each other. We encourage each other. It's just it's really good.
Yeah. And I always try to give to, everything Easton, like every fundraiser and school, thing. It's harder as a small business to. This year we've cut back a little bit just because not in Easton. Yeah, it's hard. I give, and then I'm like Janet. Like I look at the numbers after. I'm like you gotta cut down a little bit. But we, it's. I think all the Easton businesses do that, and they really give and they support each other. I'll go up to. I live at Langwater also, and so we'll go up there, and Kate will have me up in the summer when they do their beer. Fridays, and we'll have a booth with like shapes and things for the kids, and we'll do tattoos, and so we try to collaborate with the businesses as well to do stuff together too. So which is great. So
that's great.
So it's good. Hi guys. Good. So they're just crafting some. Oh, you got your stencil. Good. All right. Awesome. So we have some custom. So this is what I was saying. So we had. She emailed me and said, "Hey, we were surprising our niece and coming in and right." And then she emailed me and wanted to come in and make certain projects. So I created these. I created a custom basketball with her name and number on it. Again, she's doing whatever color she wanted. And so yes, and it's wonderful. Yeah, so they're here.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, what fun.
And then we have, I think these are just, we're making up, we had a Mansfield fundraiser and some people couldn't attend. So they're coming, they were doing burlap wreaths on this table. So a little bit different. Yep. Really? And then we're going to attach these signs kind of to the wreath and make it a little, and then they can take this off, and just use the wreath.
This is just amazing. All these
I didn't
ideas.
See you sneak in. How are you? So they came in, just came in just to come in, and they're making projects. So yeah, there's a lot going on tonight.
Yeah.
So, and these are custom too. Everything look good? Oh, awesome. Oh, I didn't know you were a little. Everybody's crafting tonight.
Oh, so these were
so these were custom. She messaged me and was looking for these for a home. So again, I went back and forth and we went on proofs and found some fonts that she wanted, and she was able to come in and customize colors and what she wanted for her stencils.
That's really nice that you do that.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And I was like, no, I need to know which fonts because there's like 1,000 fonts, and I was like, I'm very particular that I want to make sure it's right. So so that's good. And then I think we have some other people just kind of crafting over here. And again, Trisha's walking them through their project. You can see like step by step, showing them how to do that. Yep. And then here's our stain. Here's our paint colors. And then these boards, which what they're doing here is this came about during COVID. So A through H is your background color. So if you wanted your whole wood to be white, it would be A. That's the background. But the stencil part, your wording, are the dots. So what used to happen is somebody would come in and say, "Oh, Janet, I want brown stain, but then I want something dark on it, but you're not going to really see that color.
Yeah, like how it pop,
right? So it's a visual thing. So what we came up with was we have the dots on each stain board. So you're going to completely see that, wow, I shouldn't do D if I want brown lettering. Right. That's not going to work. Yeah, so giving a visual.
Isn't that a great idea?
Yeah. So that, and then we always come up with like these, like just little fun, like seasonal fun colors that are not on the boards that we do for the seasons. Cool. And then we have these gorgeous barn doors that were locally made.
Ooh. Oh, were they locally made?
Yeah, yeah. Hossfield's carpentry out of Bridgewater. Ben made them. He actually made some for my house too. He's amazing.
Gorgeous.
And this is another room. So we have a private birthday party going on in here.
So you got another party in here. Wow.
So they're this is another room.
You got a lot of room in here.
And this is another stain and paint same, basically duplicates the front with the boards. And then they all brought in their supplies. They brought on their food. They're
and
just
their
hanging
food,
out.
which smells
Food
delicious.
and drinks and a little baby. And
a little baby.
so they're kind of 2 babies tonight.
BYOB.
So lots of
Bring
people.
your own
Yeah,
baby.
bring your own baby, bring your own booze, whatever you want. So they're in there and they're going to be doing some projects too. So
great.
yeah, so it's like I said, you can shut these doors and you would even know that they were behind there.
Yeah.
And the bathrooms out back, and they just kind
this
of
bathroom's so good.
there's 2 bathrooms out back too.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Good to know.
Yeah, and we do everything. I mean,
exciting.
up there you can see we do pillows.
See,
So
not
for
even
kids'
think of
birthdays,
pillows.
yeah.
Wow.
So maybe the kids, those are good for maybe 10 and up. So sometimes maybe they don't want a wood project, or they've come in for a wood project before.
Yep.
So we do, and those are machine washable, and
Are
the
they
kids
really?
have fun doing those.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That is fun.
yeah. So we do again like different projects, like that picture palette up there, for instance. I can show you that really quick.
Yeah,
That's one of our popular ones. So we have a class sold out already in April for that one. So that's a picture of me and my son. And that
I love that.
so we walk you
That's a
through
great
how to
picture.
put the picture on wood, and it kind of looks like it's like embedded
What?
into the palette.
You're kidding
So
me.
so we have that class coming up in April that's sold out already.
And so is that class sold out?
It is sold out. Yes,
sold out
I know. So I always say, like, snag seats. We do a medium night every month or so, and people get mad at me all the time because it sells out very quick, probably in an hour, because we only allow 12 seats, so everybody gets a reading.
Oh, okay.
And we can't add any more. So like that class. Everyone gets mad at me when it sells out. I'm like, I can't add any more. So
what do you want me to do?
I don't know what you want me to do. But again, I think it can be like our clocks. We have personalized,
Love it.
options from pretty much every project.
Love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
So many ideas.
Yeah,
It's just mind blowing.
my mind, is just, now we're kind of thinking summer. So we
Okay.
have, cute like.
You do beachy things or?
Yeah, we have some of our, I don't know if there's any left. I don't think, we might have sold out of them already, but we have a lot of our like little holders for beverages and wine, like a little wine cooler. We used to have big beer bucket tables, and we do cornhole boards and like things for the summer. And then people come in all the time. We'll make trays for our wedding gifts.
Wedding gifts.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
our
think of
four-sided
that.
trays, it's kind of a mess over there right now, but our four-sided trays, a lot of people like to make that as a project, and they'll put a candle, and they'll put a bottle of champagne and a card in there, and then wrap it all up,
that
and
makes
it's
it
a
such
shower
nice,
gift.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a nice
we do
gift.
a lot of also realtor gifts. So we have a lot of local realtors that will wrap it, will customize it. Usually it's like, home and an established date or something
Right.
on
Yeah,
it.
they made a name or
Yeah,
something.
and then we'll wrap it in brown paper and put a bow on it and everything. And they'll just pick up a bunch of home signs, for realtor closing gifts. So the list goes on.
Do you ever sleep
No,
at night?
I don't.
Do you just
I
like
don't.
constantly? I got another idea.
Yeah, I have a notepad by my bed.
Do you really?
I do, yeah, because I feel like I always wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm just like, yes, that I need to do that, and then
Isn't that
I wake up and I
amazing?
forget, and so now
Right,
I just
yeah.
look. Sometimes I look, I can't understand
just
what I
scribble.
wrote, but
You're
it's,
so
it all
tired.
comes together, and then and then we just hired 2 new staffs to be able to bring in more workshops and private events, just because working full time, being a mom, is just a lot, and I'm also. I'm everything. You're designing, you're building, your email, your social media, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Anything you see is me. There's nothing,
lot.
no one else doing that.
Oh, no, that's
right?
a lot.
So it's a lot, and I want to be. I have, again, so many ideas and things that I want to do, and marketing stuff. So I'm trying to take a step away of trying not to teach as many classes, because I'm on the back end side of things.
Yes.
So we
definitely.
hired 2 more teachers to come in and to be able to teach more classes, hopefully too. So
That's good. So,
yeah.
And how was, as far as trying to find help? I mean, that's not always easy.
It's not
right?
easy, and I'm very picky.
You should be. It's your
I
business.
am, and I'm very, very passionate about my business, and I feel like I want people to leave here happy and confident, and wanting people to come back, and so I want them to be like me, as how I am, and personable and hands-on, and so it's harder to find than you would expect, because it's not their business, right? And so and it never will be as passionate as like I am,
Right.
but it's so, I weeded some people out, and it's actually funny, the two people that were hired actually have done tons of projects here. So they already know, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And already have been supportive and followers for last couple years.
Yeah.
Because people will email and say, oh yeah, I would love the position and I'm crafty. I'm like, well, could you tell me what you've done or show me any pictures? Because if you're crafty, you've probably taken pictures of stuff you've made, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And then, they oh, I don't have anything. And I'm like, okay, well, I really need someone to have, we can teach it, right, to a point.
Right,
but if I like just to have the backbone of like a little craftiness going on to teach, because again, people are coming in for their first time. And they
don't even know what to
expect.
Do.
Yeah. So just to really be helpful and hands-on, again, is so important. So yeah.
Wow, it's been amazing. And I see you have some add-on. There's the add-on station right here.
Yeah. So I am. I love, again, my biggest thing is when you come in, you have a blank piece of slate, right, to start from.
Yep.
You could have, 40 rounds in here, and every one, between picking stain colors and paint colors and just stressing, can all leave differently. It's starting with the same piece of wood, but you're going to leave differently, and you're going to make it your own.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anything from like making a door hanger, adding some greenery on, adding your flowers. I mean, we even have like little anything I see, I just pick up. Scrabble tiles to maybe spell out a name or something on a project. Yeah. We have these like wreaths. We have candles, lazy Susans, bows, bigger wreaths. We have tons of these beautiful wood flowers. So these are dried wood flowers, and we have all different colors. So people put them on, door hangers and things. And we have some other, add-ons up front too. So
that's great.
I'm always adding. I'll make all our own bows and stuff. So we have ribbon, and it really can go in any direction when you start really making things. So and that's what I love to really cut, because you can't really do that anywhere else. You
can't, and that's why you need the 2 hours to be. It's kind of like, exactly. Which one do I use?
Yeah.
So what are your hours? I mean, what do you do it at night? You said Monday through Friday?
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week. So we are open for classes Monday through Sunday. Usually our Monday through Friday classes start about 6 or 6:30. And then our weekend classes, we have the options of 11 a.m., 2 p.m., or 6 p.m. start for the weekends. Our kids' parties are always Saturday and Sundays at 11. And then every Tuesday night is open paint like this. So it's consistently every Tuesday night from 6 to 9. You can just walk in, no reservations, just like everyone else did here. And then every third Saturday of the month from 10 till 2. You can also just walk in with no reservations. So I just say to people, please be patient, because sometimes open paints, it's like the unknown, right? Because when you register for classes, I know how many people are registered. I have your projects ready.
Right.
The unknown is open paint. So it could be 2 people in here. There could be 25 like tonight, right? So you just never know. So I always say, it's a little bit different than like our classes. It's more self-paced. But we're here to guide you through it. But we have everybody that, sometimes I say to people, maybe they're unsure about the studio, or maybe they don't want to spend $50 on a project at a workshop, right? I say, or they might have kids that want to sign up for summer camp that are unsure about the studio, never been in, or maybe they want to have their birthday party here, but they're not sure. So I say to them, come do an open paint, pick something for $10. See how you just like the atmosphere, like the studio, before you commit to it. That's what I really like too. So it's a really nice way to get a feel for the studio, how you like the process, how you like it, And so like the other night we had a woman that came to class, and she was trying to get in with 4 of her friends, but it sold out so quickly. She only got a spot. So she was the guinea pig of the group to see. They've never been in, and she had so much fun. She made a big porch sign for her house, and she's like, I was the guinea pig. No one else signed up when I told them to sign up. I knew you were going to sell out, and here I am by myself. She had a blast by herself.
Did she really by herself? That's great.
And so now she just booked a private party for the rest of her friends. And that's what's great too, is you can come in here alone. You can register alone. You can come in here with friends or your family or spouse or kids. It doesn't mean you have to come in here with tons of people. We have tons of people that come in by themselves. And that's really important to me.
Good to know.
Yeah, that maybe they just maybe they just want to get out and, or
Exactly.
maybe they just, maybe they're just lonely and they just want to get some crafting time
See,
in
that's the thing too,
and
yeah.
they feel comfortable. And that's people always say to me all the time, I just feel so comfortable. You're like family in here, and I can just come in anytime and just register. We have people that register like that all the time, just come by themselves. And I know everybody by name. And we have people that I would say, I remember one time last year and I started crying when she told me, she's like, Janet, I gave her a little gift for Christmas. I mean, my regulars, I like to give like a water bottle or a bottle of wine or something at the holidays. Yeah. And so she's like, she was started to cry when I gave her the gift. She's like, I love it here so much because you make me feel special. You know my name. And I can't go anywhere else like that. You know who I am, like, so, and I'm like, oh, like, that's just me. And she's like, no, but you don't even know you're doing it. Right. Yeah, and she's like, but you know me by name and I don't come here often, but you still remember me. And I feel so like, So, and we were both crying, but that was the whole, that was always my goal, right?
And that's what it's all about.
It is, yeah. So, and then I get to know regulars' kids and families and everybody's names, and so, it's awesome. So it's one big happy family.
Feeling good.
Yeah, I do, and it's very different from my. People ask all the time how you can do both jobs, but I do FDA type submission work at my full time job, and then this is a very different side of my brain, right?
Oh,
so that's the only
totally
reason why
different.
I can do both. Otherwise,
different.
I couldn't do both.
You want to mix them up?
No. No, I just want to say thank you for the support for Easton and everyone that's come into the studio. And I'm hoping, this just also shows everybody if they've never been in, because we still get people register all the time that are from Easton in 5 years. I've never been in, which blows my mind, right?
Exactly,
I'm like, wait, you have never been in the studio?
No,
or we get people like, oh my God, I've been meaning to get in and I haven't. So, hopefully this, gives you a little bit of idea of who I am, what the studio is about, what we offer, and everything. And everyone can always reach out to me through email. I'm very quick to respond on email to questions, not Facebook, because Facebook, I never get notifications of.
Oh, you don't?
Not on business. So regular, it's Hammer and Stain South Shore at gmail.com. And I'm always on my phone, so I'm very quick to answer on emaal versus Facebook.
Okay, so email's the best.
Yeah.
Is your email on your website?
It is. And there's actually a contact us. If you hit that, it goes right to the email.
Okay, good.
And then on the website, hammerandstainsouthshore.com, there's all your links. So there's public workshops links. So that public workshops will show you all the classes.
Oh, okay.
There's,
so you just click on that.
Yeah, there's a private party link. It will tell you exactly our minimums for private parties, our deposit for private parties. And then there's once you kind of how to book a private party. And then once you book, there's another tab for the gallery of projects. So once you pick a private party, you get to pick up to 3 projects.
3 projects.
Right. So you don't have to do all the same. But we have a whole gallery of pictures to show you in pricing, so and then you just send me an email and say, Janet, we're all set. We picked these 3 projects, and then I create a link and send it to you, and that link is what you send to your guests to register. So when you come in, everything's built in ready kind of per order, right? So
great. And it's so easy.
We do. People still get confused, but I try to make it as easy as. The problem is no one reads. That's
right, exactly.
They're just like, I'm going to register, and then they don't put. They order something personalized, but they don't tell me what their name is. And I'm like, I have no idea.
So for you to guess.
Yeah, and then we have a kids party tab. So our kids party packages, pricing, everything's online. So anything
Do you have themes for parties at all?
Yeah,
for a kids party.
Yeah, so the themes, like this one, for instance, is one of our kids' planks. So see, this is an ocean theme. See, the ocean is kind of like inside the fonts.
Oh, I love that.
So we have about 10 different themes for our images for planks. And then we have our pillow party. We have our rounds when we have sports themes. We have game on themes.
Really?
All different themes for our kids' parties too. So so kids have a variety of things to pick from. It was great for you to come in.
Yeah, well,
Appreciate
thank you
it.
very much.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
of
for your
course.
time, and it's a busy night here.
Yeah,
and
it is. I
looks
know.
a
I'm
lot
like
of
sitting
fun.
here. I'm sitting here being like, I need to help these
I
people.
gotta go there, I gotta go there.
It's okay. Busy is good. We can't complain.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
always good.
Well, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
of
I really
course.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And until next time, I'll see you on Discover Easton.